Good morning. It's Tuesday. Are you here yet? Get your coffee and come on down. It's time for the Tuesday morning brew. Good morning, Nim. And let's see. Let's recap from last week. I almost died last week, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was so sick and I was puking and things are coming out of all orifice. It was terrible. It was terrible for 2 days. And I feel like I lost 5 pounds in fluid. It was gross. Sorry, too much information. Good morning. Good morning, Lou. But now I'm back and I hit the ground running because I got shit to do. Right? Get back to work. No be sick. Yeah, I know. I'm doing much better though. So I have, let's see, ordered t-shirts. I've ordered the vinyl. It's called HTV. I'm working on the sublimation for the air fresheners. Did you guys see? I got the air fresheners in, and I'm debating what scent to make them all. Don't worry, it won't be stinky, I promise. I got lots of things popping right now. So I have a giant list of things to make for you guys, and I'm excited. Gilbert Perez is inking as fast as his arm will let him, so his arm doesn't fall off like it did in issue number 7 when his arm fell off and we held a funeral. Matt Chambers is already coloring pages, so the comic book is coming along right on time. So we are plodding on in there. If you guys didn't see last week, we got a babyface Jude in this issue. He got to take a shower and he shaved off his beard. Oh my God. I don't know if this is going to cause a revolt or not. People like their beards. The ladies like the beards, the rugged look. You know what I mean? But you never know. That beard could be back. Yeah. I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't count on him staying at that Golden City very long. You know, Jude. Every time he goes someplace, it burns down. So I did. Let's see. What am I doing? Oh, if you haven't been to campaign, I always have to do this at the beginning just to make sure. Hello, it's Ian. Ian, welcome to the madness. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited that you're here, by the way. And if you haven't been to campaign, there is still a chance. Who shaves during the apocalypse? Jude St. Clair does when you get to the hotel in Vegas and they have hot water. Yes, yes. You take a shower and you shave your face. So you aren't the mountain man that you were for the last 10 years. But if you have not had a chance to come through and pick up your copy, the late pledges are still on. You can still get books. The hot sauce and the merch is turned off because I'm actively making it right now, but you could still get a book. So make sure you get in there. The link is up here. Up here. Here it is. So you can have some time shopping around. There's still lots on here. Enough of that. By the way, Tom and I have been talking and we've been working on the Lone Stars. And things have been progressing quite nicely. I'm very excited. I'm going to lock myself in a room and finish the script tomorrow. So don't message me tomorrow, please. I won't be answering. Good morning, Michael. But enough about me. Let's welcome our guest. If you have not seen Jesse Sosa yet on this show, you've been missing out. He's always a good guest. We have a good time. You have to pay attention. His wit is real quick, but we're gonna have a good time today catching up. He's been traveling the world and knocking things down with chanclas. So please welcome Jesse Sosa. Hey,
Hey, how's it
good
going?
morning. Tom says I don't shave during normal days. When the apocalypse is here, I'm going full bear mode. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a good excuse, though, right? Would you shave in the apocalypse, Jesse?
No, man, let me tell you this. The last time that I fully shaved, I was reminded that I just do not have a chin. And it was one of those where, a lot of us, we keep this, it's our fake chin.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So looking at Jude there, like I was like, oh, that's the first thing that popped in my head was like, well, at least he has a jawline and a chin,
Could you
right?
imagine if we were like, he has no chin?
Yeah, just should have just drawn him, like. Oh yeah, I'm not joking either. I was on my time hop on my phone. It's an app
Mhm.
that kind of shows you the past pictures and stuff. it came up an anniversary, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" And
Now I have to go look.
yeah, I'll have to find it and show it to you.
Ooh, we're gonna go Facebook stalk Jesse Sosa and see if there's pictures of him with no beard.
It's weird. It's weird. I've rocked this look since 1998. Like I was a poor college student, couldn't cut my own hair, doing all that stuff. So it was just whatever I could do with buzz
Yeah.
cut, basically. That was it.
Nem says, I'm shaving, but not my face.
Yeah.
Gross. Thank
There was
you
a
for that image.
time in
Oh,
Brazil when my roommate
oh
was like, "Hey,
no.
can I borrow your clippers?" I was like, "Sure." He goes into a bathroom. I hear, everything. And comes out. Everything's the same.
Oh,
I was
gross.
like,
No, no, no. Like,
"Oh,
you just
okay."
bought those. Those are yours now.
I was like, "Thank you."
No, no. Did you light them on fire?
I mean, he's a clean guy.
At least lights all that shit. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you about this.
Yeah.
Early morning brew. I know we
Early
covered this.
morning brew.
I know we talked about this on the last show, but I'm going to get ahead of it this time.
What?
I don't drink coffee. I drink Brazilian coffee
I
candy. We can now. Last time I felt like we got cut off, so now
yeah.
we can spend the entire show just talking about how much I love these candies.
And for those of you that don't know, he does love these candies. We
You
were
love
at
these candies.
NTX together last year, and Jesse and his lovely wife, who is so awesome, by the way, Rafaela is the
Mhm.
best, fed me almost the entire day, by the way. But he came over with just a handful of these candies, and he was just like, "You need to have these because these are what I'm talking about on the show." And I just spent
Oh,
the rest of the day just eating
I
these.
got them.
They're so good. I
They're
know
all
he's like he's ready to just hand it to me through the screen. Here you go. My kids got
um,
them too. When I
yeah,
got
they're
home, they're
great.
like, "What are these?" And I was like,
They're great.
"Those are mine."
And
Put them down.
I got another piece of coffee merch that I'll share with you. But we can save that one towards the end.
Okay.
And then you gotta put it on your list. You gotta order it at least once, or when I
Or
take you your book or whatever, I'll give you one so you can try it.
we have more coffee flavored goodies.
Yeah, yeah. I
What
don't
are
drink
we
coffee, but that's more because I don't like hot drinks. So I don't drink coffee or anything like that. But give me coffee flavored accessories, hell yeah. Or
I bet you
I would
I could
absolutely
make
do that.
coffee flavored I make hot sauce flavored hard candy. I
Oh
bet you
yeah,
I could
man.
do.
What do you do? Just put coffee in it. And I mean, it's not difficult, right? Just put it. You put the coffee into the candy, and you got coffee candy.
I think so. I mean, like it had to
Yeah,
be probably have to be concentrate because you're only putting
yeah,
in like 2 tablespoons into like a whole batch of candy. It's mostly sugar.
yeah. I'd have to. Yeah, I'm diabetic. It's
Don't
whatever.
unsubscribe. It's Jesse. Leave him alone. Joe, good morning.
Oh,
I
is
like
that Joe?
coffee. Yeah, of course it's Joe. Who else would it be?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how you guys do it, waking up so early in the morning. This is crazy time. It's what 10 a.m. Jesus
It's 10
Christ, you guys.
AM, dude. What time do you normally get up?
Well, Tuesdays are like my 11 noon time generally because that's just I wake up literally like 15 minutes before my meetings. And, oh, hey, actually, that's good. You're trying to figure out the scent for your
Yeah,
air fresheners.
we could do coffee scented. I was gonna
Coffee,
try and do like a Western scent, like teak and leather kind of deal.
capsaicin, just capsaicin all over it
Do you want people to
in the
not
Texas
trying
heat.
to mace people in their own car to hang it up and just immediately start crying.
Hey man, you'll sell it to the hardcores like me. Like when you said this is my hottest hot sauce, I was like, oh, I'll be the judge of that. And I ordered. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna order this. Which it was
Oh my
good. I
goodness.
like it. It's not the
Uh,
hottest hot sauce I've had, but yeah, no, I
no,
like
I
all
didn't
the
mean
flavor.
like for me, that was the
Yeah.
hot one. Just because I'm not trying to like, I don't want Jesse. Have you ever been to a hot sauce vendor where they're like, you need to sign this waiver before you
Yep.
try the hot sauce?
Yep. I've
That is
done that.
not on my bucket list. I don't want someone to have a heart attack from having my heart sauce. My heart sauce? No, we don't
There you
want
go.
that. Like, I don't
Hot
want to get
sauce.
sued and lose my business because someone had a heart attack eating salsa. Come on.
Man, you only live once, man. YOLO.
You
You gotta have
go,
some kind of kill list on
you
your.
go. I mean, I could just use knives if I want to do that, but all
That's
I'm gonna do is
true.
hot sauce.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But speaking of which, I did get to use
mhm.
knives a couple of nights ago.
For what?
Um, didn't I tell? Oh no, I didn't tell you that part of it. Um, so my book, right, that we'll be talking about.
Yes.
Not only did I stay up, like 3 nights in a row, like in a tub full of blood, but I did take a knife to a couple of those issues as special edition. So
You are
we can go.
spoiling my thunder. I was going to talk about how crazy
I
that was.
haven't. Yeah, we haven't talked about it. I was gonna say, okay, we can go into it if you want. We can start
All
business
right, all
talk, I
right,
guess.
all right. So, of course, whenever someone comes on the show, I say, what do you want to talk about? Is there an issue you want to promote? Do you have anything on Kickstarter? Or are we going to the website? Like, like, let's talk about what you want to talk about. And Jesse sends me this. Now, we're not going to look through the whole issue, but he sends me this. And then he sends me a bunch of pictures of covers that are bloody and they're all different. And I was like, whoa, what are we doing here? And so I think Jesse, you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth where it's try to make things different and unique. And I thought it was hilarious when you're like, I was in a bathtub at 3 a.m. covered in blood. And my response was, I hope you took pictures. And then he was like, pick a number. And I was like, 7. He was like, oh, it's so close because I stabbed number 8. And I was like, you stabbed the books. Are you kidding me? Do you
Yeah,
have
this
one
is
that you can show?
well, this is yours. This is the number 7, which I need to just, this one's pretty
Mm,
nice. But yeah, you missed the
yeah.
number 8. Number 8 was, and someone did get it at Staple this past weekend. Someone chose 8.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, but yeah, they get pretty crazy. Like this one, all of them are still in the car because I'm not gonna. But like this is my
Yeah.
favorite one here, so I chose this one. This is my number 0. But
So
these
what
all
was
have
the
unique blood
process for
spots.
that? Because I feel like if it's too wet, it's going to like warp the paper, right?
Man, I don't know. Like I just got some. Well, the first thing that we did was we tested some different types of material. Like I tested like actual fake blood,
Uh-huh.
and that looked
Too sticky.
amazing. It looked amazing, but it's translucent, so on the black parts you couldn't see it. And I was like, I can't do that. Like it's got to look epic, right?
Yeah.
So I just tempera
8.
tempera paint, and I mixed various types of tempera paint and water. You know, so I mean, it worked out at the end. Yeah, some of them kind of warp a little, but those are the ones that I just went to town and just
Just
tons of blood
stab
on there. But they didn't make the pages stick or anything. I lined them up. I turned off like the air conditioner in my place, and I raised the temperature to like almost 80 degrees, and I just had them everywhere, just drying as much as possible. Like I had them all throughout the bathroom, throughout the guest room, on the floor, everywhere, just a bunch of them. But I had the tub, and I was doing 8 at a time. Well, 8 at a time for the splats. I was doing individually for the ones I was doing, like deep sea sponges, and I was doing like real like type of real like that issue 0 is one I got real close with, and I started just doing these striations or these marks across the cover. I had like sponge letters where I was trying to write stuff on it. I
Hmm.
was writing stuff with brush strokes, just everything. I was blooding my hands up and smearing them and doing all kinds of stuff. So there's 200 books, first print run. Each cover is unique. I had a Kevin come by the booth, and Kevin Garcia, and he was like looking at it, and he was just like, someone asked me if there was a way to do a bulk amount of covers in a unique way. He goes, and I couldn't think of one, and he's just like, you thought of one. He's
Yeah,
like, this is the same cover, and I was like, yeah, it's the same cover. It's all printed, same cover. I go, but then you just go in there and you just do whatever it is that makes it special, right?
that's cool.
And so that was fun.
I
It
might
was a lot of fun.
steal it. I was like,
Yeah,
I might
do it.
steal
It's fun.
it and sing.
Here, let me. How do I drop? Well, I guess I could just share my desktop.
Yeah, you can share screen because I don't want to show the whole thing. But I mean, like, there's certain pages in here that people need to see. Like the characters are amazing. I would love to show that last page that I was cracking up at the end with the vocabulary, which was great. But this, okay. So speaking of last year at NTX, so
Yeah.
you did not have Chancla out, but you
Mm-mm.
had this giant poster of
Yeah.
her with her cape open and all of her weapons. And I
Yeah.
feel like that poster drew so much attention. Everybody was like, "How do I get that?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even out yet. And I was like, "Okay,
Mm-mm.
so you're onto something here." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
That
was, I
poster.
mean, that's what gave me the confidence to just do it, right?
Mhm.
It was a lot of work to put together, but and my artist Sebastian, we went through and had to just we basically panicked and we're just like, "Oh man, can you get this done by the end of the year?" And he was just like, "Yeah, yeah, let's do it." Here, let me see. How do I do this? Share. Um, but it definitely gave me the confidence, and I used that as ammunition for some, to get into talks with some publishers and stuff, and it
Cool.
worked. It
It It's so
definitely did.
funny, it's such a great idea because it's like we all talk about the grandma with the chancla. For those of you that are not Hispanic, it's the thing. It's the mom, like you misbehave and she takes her flip-flop off and that's it. Like you're done. That's it's a boomerang. It's a it curves space and time. It's like Captain America's shield. It will go around corners and it always ends up back in their hand somehow. And the aim is always bullseye. So it's amazing, right? And so there's always this joke about the chancla flying around in the house and misbehaving. But she's such a interesting character because she is not your stereotypical hot chick, perfect body, you know what I mean? Superpowers. She's a grandma
Hmm.
with a bunch of knives and a chancla. I know she has a team, and the team kind of fills some of those needs that other people are looking for in comics. So, but she's the protagonist, and she is such a badass. And so it's just it's so interesting to me that you went this way. And I think we kind of joked about in one of my chat groups. We were talking about chanclas, and I think it was Dash's wife, Dash Hooper's wife. We were talking about getting the chancla out, and I was like, "Oh no, Lorraine is coming!" And it was like, we could write a comic about that. And I was like, actually, my friend Jesse is writing that.
Joe
So
actually brings up a good point there on
what?
yours. He's like, "Smear your books with hot sauce."
Yeah. You could have the spicy cover. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's your
Super
spicy
spicy
covers.
cover. Comes with the hot
You
sauce on it.
you'll get people like me that usually back spicy covers will be kind of like,
Where
okay, yeah, I
where?
guess, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
my muscle movement is like my muscle memory is going towards spicy, so okay, I'll back it.
we could have a double spicy, so we could make it spicy and spicy.
But yeah, these are the
Look
it's
at that,
just
you guys.
various different types of blood splats and
Burns after reading. Yeah, don't rub your eyes after reading Laurie's hot sauce book.
man, you'll trust me, you'll get people like me, they'll just do it.
Eat the
Why
book.
not? Yeah. Yeah, like these here, I definitely
Look at
put a
that.
ton of blood on there. This one actually got bought, um,
Oh my
but
gosh.
it didn't actually warp. I worked with Comic Will Springs on this one, and they told me to use their sketch covers, and
Oh,
yeah, their
okay.
sketch covers are absorbent,
Oh,
like
there's
the
yeah,
material. Hold on, what's this
man,
one? Oh yeah, let's see what I
sketch
did.
covers are
Splat, splat.
expensive paper too. Those
Yeah.
are not cheap.
So this is I was doing 8 at a time in a tub and just getting stuff everywhere.
Has your tub recovered or is it pink now?
It's tempera, so tempera's, you just put some soap and water and it washes off.
All
Um,
right,
uh,
if you say so.
but on porous surfaces, it adheres. But yeah, that's basically how it was. Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. so
Yeah.
so yeah, so
Should have
people get to
taken a
see.
picture of you lying in the tub after all after all the paint
I
was splattered and be like, "Jesse is dead."
I was destroyed, man. Like I drove to Staple. I put together the last one. It was dry and everything, but I realized that either there's a double numbered issue because my wife went and numbered them all. So either there's a double one somewhere, but we counted and recounted 200. And
Yeah.
at the end, we ended with 199. And so I
Mhm.
was just like, okay. So we had to do one more. And luckily, I had made a couple extras, but it was like 5 a.m. the morning of Staple. And I was just like stamping the book, bagging it, putting it all together, printing the last bits that I needed to print. And slept for a couple hours and just woke up at what was it, 5? I think yeah, no, actually shit, now that I think about it, I may have I was saying I was operating on 3 hours of sleep, but I think I went to bed at like 4 and I did wake up at 5:15. So I had to wake up at 5:15 to drive down to Austin,
Oh my
get
God.
there and just put together all the books and I somehow I don't know how it worked. Joe witnessed it. Um like I was just awake, and I was just like I was on the balls, just like being friendly and shit like that, all that dumb
With
shit.
1 hour of sleep, you were being friendly? That's
I
amazing.
don't know. Yeah,
I would have been
sometimes
biting
I'm friendly.
people. I would have
Sometimes
been
I'm
just,
friendly, but
bite you. I think you get that because you travel a lot. You travel, like, to Japan and, like, the time difference, you're able to I don't know, I think it's easier for you.
it's pure hatred is what drives me most of the time.
What?
It's
Why
just
pure
spite and
hatred?
hate. Yeah, and it's just everything. Um, Spite will always keep me going forward. This is the best fuel you have. When someone tells you you can't do something, and
Who
you're just
told
like,
you?
"The fuck, I can't," and you'll go and do it.
Ew, Nem. I got gas last night, but that was my dog. Who told you couldn't do this? Let's hear the story. Who said it? Who said it? Chocolate
Oh, no, just people like
uh,
there's just a lot of stuff. Like I was talking about it. Like I love my dad. Um, but it was one of those that when I was in high school, my dad was an artist, growing up, but he wasn't an artist professionally. He gave up his art stuff to do, manual labor, blue collar work, to raise family, his family before he married my mom, like his mom, because his dad passed away when he was young. And so he had to support his mom and his younger siblings. And so when I told him I wanted to be an artist in high school, he didn't quite understand. He wasn't mean about it or anything, but
yeah,
that's been one of my driving factors has been, well, I'm going to prove him wrong kind of thing,
yeah,
and I'm going to prove all the statistics, everything, all because everything was going against me. I'm a college dropout. Everything like that was just against me, against me, against me the entire time. And I was just like, no, I'm going to do it. So it's one of those, like, if you hang out with me enough, you'll see what I'm talking about, where it's just, yes, that's one of the main things that drives me is just doing things that I've been told most of my life by various sources around me that you just can't do it, right? Oh, comics aren't popular anymore, that kind of stuff. I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna make some comics, you know. You can't have a protagonist that isn't a bombshell. Oh, well, you know what?
right.
I'm gonna do that. That kind of stuff. So, that
But
it's lots of things.
that's what proves that to me that writing matters. You know what I mean? Because it's not just pretty art, it's the story. It's the story behind it. And it's like that the concept is so great that people are immediately drawn to this character. Like I said, the book wasn't even out. You just had a poster at NTX and everybody was around your table and I was like, "What are they looking at?" And I went over there and I was like, "Wow.
Yeah,
Holy
the
crap."
first show that I showed anything for this comic, which I realize we haven't even talked about it. So we're talking about this idea that,
Concept, yeah. Maybe we should talk about it then. Why
like,
don't you okay, chocolate is take it away, Jesse.
oh man, okay. Well, one, it's really early in the morning, so I
Stop.
I will try my best. But basically, this is a hardcore Mexican grindhouse book. So anything that you've seen, like Robert Rodriguez movies,
Yeah,
specifically Machete, this is what this is. It's ridiculous. It's over the top humor, over the top action. It just escalates, 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 and doesn't really stop. That's what this is about. So this is about a group of mercenaries who are on a mission, and everything's going well until uh, um, they get attacked by ghosts, and then they become overwhelmed, and before they know it, they're thrown into a world of gods and monsters. This new world of gods and monsters to them, and I can. That's just kind of like the general high pitch, but
Right.
I can elaborate a little bit. So you have chancla, which, oh, man, I wish. Here, this is. Here, I'll do a little
Oh,
show
you
and
get
tell on the webcam.
that green poster. I don't know if you have that. Yeah,
Uh, I
the picture
do.
of her that has, like,
Actually,
her face.
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let me see. Laurie, if you want to tap dance or something while I am
Da
getting
dee da
this,
da da. Dee da 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 dee.
I
Yeah.
got this
Da
actually right
da
here.
dee da 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 dee da 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 da.
Hold on. Go a little longer. Go a little longer.
La 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 la.
There we go.
Everybody look at my squonk.
Yeah.
I got
You
this
know,
from
it's
If you haven't seen her squonks yet. Alright. Oh, oh, I saw it, but then it's gone.
yeah, I don't know why that one is doesn't have my, you know what? Screw it. Whatever. You know, you guys are gonna, this is an incomplete poster, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to the text. The text is not there.
Well, I that one's in the one that I have with the text if you want. I'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Sure. It's just like I could like point,
This
but
one?
like it doesn't. You can't see my fingers. Yeah, let's
Stop it. Yeah, I'd hug this too. See?
yeah. Joe says I tell him every morning that he's a loser to keep him going.
He's like, "Oh, yeah? I'll show
Yeah.
you."
So can you zoom in a little bit on it?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. You sure can.
Thank you, thank you. All right,
Uh,
so this is the team, right? So like I said, the Mexican Grindhouse. This is about a team of mercenaries, right? So this is the team of mercenaries. Um, so you got Chancla, who's obviously the one there in front with the bloody blade. Um, she is a Mexican freedom fighter and always has been her entire life, but now she's getting older and she wants to start a team. So she recruits Guacho, who's the tall guy in the back. Guacho's ex-military sniper. He has been in oh crap, what is this?
what does
One
quattro
second, one second, one
mean?
second. Guacho's kind of like a nickname for possum. So
Thank you.
tacuache, Guacho
That
kind of
was the
thing.
only one I didn't know. And I was
Yeah.
like, "It must be some kind of rodent because of the mask that he wears."
Yeah, it's you know, it's just slang. That's what we grew up. One of our friends, that's what we would call him because he was like uh,
Why?
he was kind of like a dirty guy, I guess. Like you know, we were all like in junior high, and he would be like in the mud and stuff, and we're out playing guns, and he would be the one that would like take things a little too seriously and like actually try and snap kids' necks and stuff like that, you know. But he was always like knee deep in like arroyo water and you know just stuff like that. So we would always call him tacuache or guacho. You know, that's kind of what we would always call him. So that's kind of where that name came from.
It's funny.
Um, so so he is a ex-military sniper, and he has the experience to put together a team. So they get together and he recruits Paloma, who he knew in the military. So she's ex-military, and she's a pilot. So she flies
Mhm,
the extraction, the helicopter in and out. You know, she gets them in and out. So along the way, they've picked up Fresa, Lota, and Vela. So um, Fresa is the youngest one of the team. They found her when she was really young, and so they kind of raised her to do small arms and explosives. She's kind of like the wild card of the team. She's the Harley Quinn, if you will. Elote, they found him an orphan on the streets, and they brought him in, and he's a computer hacker. So he's the computer hacker of the team. And this story starts off 2 months after they found Vela. And
mm.
Vela, they found her on a ritualistic altar, and
Oh,
yeah, they found her strapped to a ritualistic altar. They were trying to free a Mexican pyramid for the people. They were trying to release it from the cartels. And when they went in there, they found her strapped to an altar, and they released her. And she doesn't really know who she is, and she doesn't really talk very much. But she comes in to help. She decides she wants to help them, and when she gets angry, she turns into a fire demon, basically. And so that's kind of the gist of the characters. And it's about one of their missions 2 months after they rescue Vela, and along the way, at the end of the comic, something happens to Vela. She transforms into this crazier version of herself, and that sets up the graphic novel that I'm working on, which is six
Okay.
chapters, and it's going to be basically who is Vela, how can they find it. The whole story is about found family. It's about
Oh, interesting. You
yeah,
really
it's
could have a spinoff on each one of these people.
so I'm planning on doing. Remember, I was talking about zines on the pre-show,
Ah,
and I'm planning on doing some zines, some little, just short little zines that will go into all of them. They're all very broken. They're all extremely broken
yeah.
people who have come together for a good cause, and they're trying to figure things out. So this book actually is in the same world as my Teen Strike book, which is just like this,
In
happy superhero kind of like teenage superhero book.
the
It takes
same
place.
world.
Yeah, it takes place 10 years after the final event in Teen Strike. What so I'm writing them in a way that you don't have to read both of them to understand them. They both exist in vacuums, but they this one does kind of. I've already started writing the graphic novel, and in the beginning you get a little glimpse into who these characters are. They're talking on the way back from on the helicopter, and they're explaining to Fessa, who's the youngest one of the group, and she's young and she kind of has some memory problems because of some trauma that happened to her in the past, and so she doesn't remember almost anything from her childhood. And so they're explaining to her the state of the world, and they're just like,
Hmm.
she's just like, well, why aren't the superheroes helping us, that kind of stuff. And they're
Yeah.
like, they're busy rebuilding the cities, like they have that's their job. Our job is to protect the forgotten, right? Like the people that, there's no big city here in Mexico that we're at, like, but there's still crime and everything, so we have to do what we have to do, kind of thing. And Elote is like, yeah, he's like, when my parents were killed, I spent my days crying and yelling out for the superheroes to come help me. He's like, but they never did. The people who did help me didn't have superpowers. And he was like talking about, Chancla and them. He's like, they're my superheroes. So they kind of go into all that and how they'll never stop until they rescue every little boy, every little girl, kind of thing. And
Oh,
so, that's kind of like the mission. So it does take place in the same world for that, specifically because I was trying to find, when I was originally trying to write this, I wrote this as just straight up Mexican grindhouse. And the thing about Mexican grindhouse is that, or just grindhouse in general, is generally there's not any kind of purpose to go past the initial gag. So like, you kind of like, you have your story and you tell it and it's done, and it's just like, cool, that's it. There's never anything really to build on and over, unless you have like some kind of hook that you can dangle at the end.
yeah.
And so for this, it took me a while until I was talking to one of my friends who directs movies, and I had read him the story, and he was just like, I love it. He goes, but you need something, man. He's like, you need
Yeah.
something. You need some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like ghosts or something.
Uh,
And and
uh,
I and I was just like, okay, okay,
mhm.
cool. And so then I stood back and I was like, all right. So I went back because this was originally going to be a one shot. I was planning an anthology where my Teen Strike characters are flipping through the TV, and this was going to be on their Cinemax, right? And they were going to be at like on a late night, and they were flipping through, and it was originally a like a 14 to I think it was, no, 16 to 20
Wait,
page book.
that's how Machete started, right? It
Yeah,
was a joke. It was like a fake
yeah,
trailer, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta make this."
yeah, exactly. And so it was, technically he actually started on Spy Kids, like Uncle
That's
Machete.
right.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he was a gag though,
Uncle,
and
he
that's the
was
thing. Like, it's a gag. And so I
sorry, I
thought
didn't
about
mean
it, and
to.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Go.
ghosts. Okay, cool. So I went in there, and it went from like 20 pages and went up to like 26, 28 pages. And I was like, okay, cool. I think I got something here. And I was like, but there's something missing. And so I was going back and I was working on Teen Strike. And because in Teen Strike, they're superheroes, but they think they have superpowers, but it's really a magic system. And that's not apparent to them. They'll never find that out. But I have a bunch of stories that I'm writing around that magic system, and they have ancient aliens that are the reason. And it's all based around ancient alien theory and stuff like that. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, first off, who is Bella? And I was like,
Yeah.
I've already started writing the story. I don't even know who she is. So I started doing a lot of research, and I found this Aztec god of fire and the color blue. And I was like, oh shit, that's perfect. So I was like, yeah, that's who's in her body, blah blah blah. And I started thinking, I was like, oh, then all the backstory for Teen Strike came in, and I was just like, wait, oh shit, she could be one of those biomechanical aliens, and it just started making sense. And then it went from a 26-page book to the final 52 pages.
Yep. I was like, because if you look over here, guys, it's 52 pages. Like,
Yeah, it's a meaty issue zero, like it's a
yeah.
big issue zero, but it's meant to. I didn't compromise. Then I got Sebastian. Like I found my artist, and I was like, oh, he's so good. So this was when it was a 40-page book, and I was like, oh, he's so good. So I went back and I added spreads, spreads, and spreads, and then if you already wrote a book and you turn one of those pages into a spread, then you
You
don't
gotta
add one page.
reformat.
You have to add 2 pages to
Yes.
keep the format of everything. So I added like I think it was like 5 spreads, and so I ended up adding an extra 10 pages, and I was just like, okay, yeah, here we go.
No.
Yeah, it's never an easy task, but he was just so good. Like his work is just so good, and yeah, and it just kept going and building and building. So now I'm at 52 pages. It's almost the same size as one of my Teen Strike books, which is 60
Yeah.
pages, and it was just I don't know why I do it to myself, right? But at the end of the day,
You're one of those that, like, I get it though. It's like, because writers are notorious for this too, right? Because it's like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go edit this chapter, and then you add like you
Yeah,
add a bunch of stuff instead of editing is like fixing, making it more nice. But no, we just go and we add things, and then like the next time you go read it, and then you're like, wait a minute, what about this? And then you add more,
yep,
and so you're just
it's
continually poking it, trying to find your
like
masterpiece in that block of marble is what you're doing.
yeah, like like I'm not a perfectionist at all. Like I can understand separating art from
Yeah.
a product. I've 20 over 25 years now in the game industry. Like
Yeah.
I
Wow.
stopped making art in games way a long time ago, right? It's like it's a product. I make a product.
Yeah.
And so have to know when to stop and ship it. You're just like, yep, it's done, good enough. Like we can be here forever, but the budget and schedule dictate that we stop. And it's the same thing with my comics, right? I can fiddle on these comics forever, but I'm not going to, because the reason I got into making comics is because they are, one, a lot cheaper and a lot quicker to get a story idea out than video games. Video games, you can take years and years to even do any game, and that's if it even comes out. Like I think every game that comes out is kind of like a miracle. And and then a comic, my Teen Strike books, we go from nothing to a full ship product in 6 months, for 60 pages roughly. Um, and I like that. I'm working on chapter 7 and 8 right now, which concludes the first story arc and brings all the kids together. They get over their
Yay.
petty differences, and it ends with a cliffhanger that goes into the second um, 9 chapters, and that one is going to be very dark and very sad. And it's the whole reason that I'm writing the book, is
Oh,
to get to that middle part. Yeah, Teen Strike. Um, we started writing it because back in
yeah.
high school we used to get picked on a lot for liking comics and stuff. Because this was back in the '90s, right? That really wasn't like the thing yet. Not until Pokemon hit was it cool to be a nerd. Pokemon and the Marvel movies, basically. Um,
Mhm.
so we used to get picked on a lot, and so my friend Roy used to draw us as superheroes, and he would draw us like beating up the bullies and stuff, and then that evolved and turned into a story that over the past 30 years, we had just been kind of working on. But one of our friends that used to help us write it, he passed away,
Right.
and so it was we I couldn't handle it for a couple years until Joe and Roy sent me their first comic book over COVID era, and I looked at it and I was like, that's what I need to do. Like I need to finish this story that we started a long time ago. So that whole thing, trying to deal with his death, is one of the main. It's like therapy for me. Like having it's the way I say this, one last adventure with my friends, right? Before I lose any more of them. And I'm gonna deal with his death I'm gonna deal. Yeah.
I,
Um,
I, all right, start Jesse. You got to start from the beginning. Fishley is here. Sorry,
start all over.
start over. Fish, we were talking about La Chancla, so you'll have to go back and catch up to hear. We'll talk more about it, but that's what we were talking about. But this
But
is an
it's
amazing story, because I love that. Whenever people come on the show, the first time I always get their origin story. It's like, how did you get into
yeah.
comics? And everybody's story is just so different. And the fact that you guys are having one last adventure with your friend through the comic book, that's amazing. You know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
hard. I mean, originally Team Strike was a game because, again, like I said, I've been doing games for 25 years, and for a while there, I was like, I don't know how to make anything other than a video game. And so I started making the
Mm.
game. I modeled all the characters out, and I started like putting together the town and everything. And then that's when I got the book from Roy and Joe, and I looked at it, I was like, man, this is a lot cheaper and a lot faster. And it's gonna, at the end of the day, it's just gonna achieve the same result as I'm just gonna be telling a story. So
Right.
I don't care about the medium. For me, it's just the quality of the story, right? Just getting it into the people's hands.
Right. And I mean, I'm with you on that because when I came from production and I was like, it took me, like 9 months to put together a 7-minute short film that's decent. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not, I wouldn't even call it great, but it was a lot of work, months and months and months. And it's just like, and it was a lot of money. So it's like at this point, this bigger story that I have telling it was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this unless I find another way to do it. And that's how I found comics too. So I'm with you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and yeah, if you come for production, then you know exactly what it is. Like I just finished up Borderlands 4, and that
Yeah.
was 6 years of our life. And and even then before that, Ghostbusters, the video game, way back in the day, that was also that one was only 3 years of my life. But
Only.
yeah, that's when 3 years was, I couldn't fathom working on a game for 3 years. Now I just got done working on one for 6. And it was, you work so hard, you put it out, and then someone craps on it within 30 minutes.
Of course.
They'll play like 30 minutes, they get on their blog and they write the full review. And that breaks morale, and it breaks your heart, especially if you're really into it, right? Like if you're really
Yeah.
into the game you're working on, it just destroys you because you know that they didn't play the game, or that their focus is only in the very beginning. And so with comics, I could get this stuff out faster. And you know what? People are, I think, are a lot more forgiving when it comes to comic books. I'm not entirely sure why. Um,
Are they though? I don't know.
well,
You think? Well, I mean, like there's a difference between yeah, I think like comics can be done in a bunch of different styles, but I think indie games can be too. I think it's just people love to do reviews on they love to do negative reviews because that's what
well,
gets
yes,
views. You know what I mean?
yes.
That's what gets the algorithm going. And
Well,
so that's
even
what I hate so much
even
about
before that,
oh,
sorry, even before that, the negative people are always the loudest. Even before the internet, right? You're
yeah.
at a restaurant, you're enjoying your food. The person that hates it will stand up and start yelling. Like it's always been a thing. You always want to feel heard, because you're having an experience that's different from everyone else. So you want to spread that. You're like, I can't be the only one having this experience. So when
Mm,
it comes to negative reviews, that's what happens. But the thing about games and comic books is that with comics, I think you can enjoy it in various different aspects. So I think it satiates a lot more of people's, because like you could be like, well, the story's crap, but hey, the art's cool, right? Or
mm,
or like me, sometimes like I buy books solely on cover sometimes because it's like, well, I could buy this as a print or I could buy it as a comic book because at least as a comic book, one, sometimes it costs less than the print, but two, it's I get a whole story with it. Whether I like it or not, I can thumb
yeah.
through and it still enjoy it on some level. Or if the art's not good, hey, the story's awesome, right? Or you hit the trifecta and everything's good, and you're just like, hell yeah, that was awesome.
Mhm.
Games, generally, it's gameplay. Like it's hard for people to get away from gameplay because games, that's how that's the primary way you interface with a video game. And then this obnoxious push towards realism in video games has set the bar so freaking high that
Gosh.
if it just does not look like something, or if there or some players are forced into a reality that they never understood, like like
Mm.
body hair, like women have body hair, or like, these type of things. If they're forced to see that,
Oh
it
no! Turn it off.
it destroys everything about it, where comics can remain stylized and people expect stylization in comics. And that's cool because I bought so many books this year, and they're amazing. Like, all of them are just like so great. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of them are non-traditional. Sorry, I like the real indie stuff as well. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll go buy a sexy book and everything like that. It's great. I love it and everything like that. But sometimes seeing some of this other stuff, like what was the most recent one, Drumsticks of Doom, like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like I really like those
Yeah.
types of I really like those types of art styles where I can look at it and I can see that someone has been drawing them and stuff. Like, I kind of
Right.
miss doing that. John Clavier, actually, that cover, is one of mine where
Oh,
I
cool.
spent a lot of time putting that one together and putting some other stuff, because I don't really get to do art. So I always try and find lots of, like, photo bashing and lots of different things to help me speed up. But sometimes it's just nice to revel in people's art that that they spent a lot of time on.
Mhm.
And so, again, that's a main difference between games and comics that I could
Well,
see.
and I think a big difference too is the time. The time it takes for me to read a comic versus to sit down and play a game, where I don't get a time to, like, get away a lot. Like, people are Tom Hutchinson is always ragging on me because he's like, "She doesn't watch movies." I don't. I don't have time. I can't get to the movie theater. And if I have time to sit down and watch a movie, then I have time to work on my comic, right? And
Yeah,
so I'm working on the stuff that's going to further my business and push me forward instead of putting on movies. And so that's the thing, is the same thing with games, is like I hardly ever get to play games. And so for me to be able to really dig in and to play one game, it usually takes me a long time. Like, I
yeah,
played Fallout 4, I don't know how many times, and I didn't bother buying any new games because why? I'm not
yeah,
gonna have time to play them, right? But reading a comic, like, reading your comic this morning, I had breakfast and drank a coffee and dug into La Chancla and had a good time. Um,
yeah.
you can enjoy it
It's
over and over without having to start over, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
That's one of the things with, gosh, I started a replay of Fallout New Vegas.
Hmm.
And you have fond memories of playing it, and then I went back and I was like, "Ooh, I forgot about this part." Like, I forgot my
Well,
gun fell apart every 5 seconds, like, and then,
well,
you have
that's
to
also part of the push towards realism, right? Like,
yeah.
games don't age well graphically because they've been trying to
Oh,
push into realism, and you can see an attempt, where stylization is not, it's not a shortcut. It's equally as difficult to make a good stylized project. But when you it's like anatomy. Okay, so when you're
yeah,
doing an anatomy study, if you don't get it right, something looks off to a person, right?
yes,
So when you go to stylize anatomy, one of the things I say, I'm like, this feels like bad anatomy, all right? And because I'm an art director, so for me, when I see like
mhm,
that, I go, hey, this feels like bad anatomy. You don't want it to feel like bad anatomy. You still need to understand anatomy to do
yeah,
stylized anatomy. I go,
right,
because if you have bad anatomy, it just feels like you're trying to do good anatomy, but you're failing. So you can stylize it. You can put extra muscles and things on, like, I don't know, like, go back to the Image comics. Like, as much as people, dog on some of the Rob Liefeld stuff, it fits like within the scope of his style, right? And it's
yeah,
just kind of like this weird thing, whether you
yeah.
like it or not. But
It
it's, and there are some pieces that are bad anatomy, but for the most part, I'm like, that kind of works. That kind of
Rob
cool.
is like, if you don't think too hard about it, it just works, you know what I mean? Like, you just read
Yeah,
it, you understand it, but when you go back and you look at it and you're like, "Ooh, wait, that's not that won't work." You know what I mean? But again, like you said, like, if you're just enjoying the book, you just read through and it's like, "Ah, Captain America is giant." Like,
yeah.
it's
But
no
the thing,
biggie.
people
Carrie
are
Carrie, his
as
screen is up there. He has multiple screens going, so he's looking up on the screen. That's what
yeah.
he's
I got 5 screens around me because I work
He
like,
he works at home and yeah, he does a lot of things on the screen, so
but
multiple.
but yeah, so like what I was saying is that, like, his bad anatomy, or
Yeah,
whenever any comic artist does bad anatomy, I should say, I shouldn't point him out directly, but whenever any comic artist does bad anatomy, the fact that the art style is stylized, it makes it more forgiving. versus in games when you have a push towards realism and surfaces look real and stuff like that, and then you see someone with extra muscles or muscles that don't belong, you get the sense. What is that it's the when you
I
know
know what
something's wrong.
I know what you
The
mean. It's like
uncanny valley.
Uncanny Valley, yeah.
Yeah,
And we
it's
talked about this before. That why okay, now I wanna pick your brain. This might sidetrack us a little bit,
no, 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 you're
but,
fine.
Uncanny Valley, I think the reason why it exists, thank
Mhm.
you, Fish, is because, at one point when we in our evolution, if you believe in evolution, um, there was another competitive species that looked like
Yeah.
us. So I don't
Mhm.
know if it was, you know how like we had human Homo erectus and there was also Neanderthal
Yeah.
at the time, and there could be like other
Mhm.
competing species. So they look like us, but they're not us. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's just slightly off. So is that why? And then I think that that uncanny valley is a way for, and this is gets dark, that people can turn off emotion towards different human races, because how else can we explain why humans are able to be like, that's not a human, I'm going to kill them all. There should be
Yeah.
no reason why humans can um compartmentalize that. You see what I mean? And so for I think it's uncanny valley that there was a competitive something that looked just like us that messes us up, and that's what I think causes all sorts of war and issues. I don't know.
It,
It's
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 deep.
it's really true. So that's what I was getting at too. Is the uncanny valley makes you think that there's something wrong here, and I shouldn't like
Yeah.
this. Um, it's the it's eerie when you think about that there was something that was mimicking us back then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's when you start getting into all these cool like cryptid stuff again.
Skinwalkers. Yeah,
Yeah,
cryptids.
y'all are cryptid talking the pre-show.
Mhm.
Because there could have been something like right now. I forget what it's called, but when people's eyes are offset a little bit on towards the outside, which is like some of these more modern movie stars are starting to get the eyes that are a little bit
Oh,
offset. Like Anna Taylor Joy. Like if you look at Anna Taylor Joy,
yeah.
her eyes are a little bit pushed out further. That one actress that was the Little Mermaid, her eyes are pushed out a little bit further. They're starting to do that because people look at them and they're like, there's something wrong, and they don't really notice that, but they gather
Huh.
that attention, but it's not also good attention. And I think that that's also part of that same thing, right? It's the uncanny valley. Like, what if there really was something that was trying to mimic humans? The chance, the reality is, one, you have to it's the different homo sapien, homo,
Yeah.
genus, whatever. But I think it's honestly something a little different, because a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, like they would go in your caves and try and kill you." I don't necessarily think it's that. I honestly think it's all reproductive. Like, there's a point where you knew like that you can't reproduce with that person. That person will not have babies. You can reproduce with this
Mm.
person. That person will have babies, and that's why Neanderthals and humans actually we outbred them. We bred them out of existence,
Right.
for the most part, at least from what we can tell, is because our genes were superior, and they just
They just
really,
keep
I
up.
guess, liked our women, I guess, but our genes were superior. So every time they tried to dominate and outbreed us, we were just breeding more of us. It was a really kind of an interesting
Huh.
sci-fi story that could evolve from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I could see that turning into a lot of different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's one of
Mm.
the theories there. But
So
is
why
that
is it that why do you think people are harder on video games than they are, let's say, than animation?
Well, a couple things. One is the cost of entry to a video game is, a lot of people, even though games should cost literally 150 to $180. They should. If you take into account inflation and
Yeah.
budgets and stuff like that, they should cost like that much money. But you're never going to get people to buy that. But
No.
people still think that, $70 entry, and it's not that they think, it's true. $70 now almost pushing to $80. That's a lot of money for a single game.
So they're
So you
entitled
expect a
because
lot
they
more.
spend the money?
You expect a lot more. Where a comic, we still sell our comics relatively low, all things considered. Like, Teen Strike 60-page book for $15. Joe has his $5 books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think people are just more forgiving about that. Also, I have another theory. I think a lot of these people actually don't even read the comics. I really don't. I just don't.
I know that's true. I know that's
Yeah.
true. because I've had people buy the comic, buy several issues,
Mhm.
and then at like issue, I think it was like issue 5, this person that's been consistently buying my comics came up to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm missing issue 2." And I was like, "Oh, you are?" She was like, "Yeah." She was like, I finally started reading them and they're really good." I was like, "What?" I
Well, I mean, that's not how that works, but okay.
was like, "Are you kidding me?" She was like, "No, I wasn't." And some people just want to support you as a person, and I get that, but, um, I thought this person was reading the book and, was definitely not, and then when they finally did, they were like, "It's really good, but I missed, like, issue 2 somehow, and so I need to go back and reread it," and I was just like, "Sure." So, it just flabbergasted me, like, the people that you think are reading your book might not be 100%.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So I think that a lot of times, like games are an expensive hobby to. I mean, I'm saying that right, but
Yeah,
games are an expensive hobby to just buy and not play.
right.
So the chances of someone
Yeah.
actually buying a game that's not a
See?
collector like me or anything and not playing it, um, yeah, they need a yeah, that's your pile of shame, fish. Um, the people that buy games and not play them, like, is
Ye
much lower than a comic book.
Right,
You say, "Oh,
right.
yeah, I'll buy" again, going back to what I said, sometimes people buy them just for the covers or
Mhm.
they just wanna thumb through, but they don't read, right? Like, it's just like the amount of people that I've met that and you probably have seen this, where they're just like, I love comics and all I love" but I don't like to read, like, I just buy them. I've heard that before.
Okay.
I had an experience last year where we were selling at Comic Palooza out in Houston, and
Nice.
this group of people came up, and they were, or no, it was actually this one was a different one. There
Mhm.
was a guy that came up, and he was like, "We're like, hey, what do you like to read? Oh, it's not my friend Doug and I, and
Yeah.
he was like, oh, I'm really into like Batman, Daredevil, street level stuff, all this and that, and we're like, "Oh, cool. Well, we have some books here, right? I got this and that," and kind of explaining some stuff. And he's like, I don't really like indie comics or anything." And meanwhile, he was wearing a Grendel T-shirt, on his, and I just look at him, I go, "You have a Grendel shirt on?" And he's like, "What?" And he didn't know what Grendel was. He just bought it because it was a cool character. And I'm like, Grendel's an indie comic. I go, a lot of the stuff in here, a lot of the movies that you watch that you love, that's all indie stuff. I go, a lot of the stuff that's in that DC and Marvel have bought or brought in, that's all from indie stuff. And I was just kind of like a little upset, but I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
shit, man, like you don't even know your shit, man. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain point where it's just like, God damn it, man. Like seriously. And I've heard that a lot. Well, I don't really like indie stuff. And I'm like, well, you got to thank the indie stuff for the surge of 90s comic book movies that led to the current state of the industry of like movies, if that's all you
Yeah.
consume, you know? Is that magical time where producers were just walking down San Diego Comic Con, they're like, make,
You,
make
you,
you
you.
know?
We're gonna make them all.
Now
Not
everything's so manufactured, so cut and paste.
Yeah, well,
Awful.
everything is reboot, recycle, and I don't know, did we talk about this? I talked about this quite a bit, but it's because of streaming. It's because of streaming, right? Because there's no aftermarket, there's no Blu-ray release, physical release where they can get their second half of their money anymore. And
Yeah.
so everything is guaranteed audience. We're picking the actors that were big, before they like Ghostbusters, for example.
Mhm,
All the actors, most of them are still alive. There's a couple that are not, but so hurry up, get Bill Murray in another movie so we can get those butts back in
mhm.
the seat in the same franchise, and all those people will come back out. It's like we're getting He-Man.
Yep.
Why? Because we all watched it as a kid, we wanna see it on the screen.
Mhm.
So they're taking stuff that has pre-made audience
Yeah.
and putting it on the screen, and that's all
And
they're
that's
doing.
it's happening in the game industry as well. Like,
Yeah.
we're consuming ourselves. The publishers just aren't investing in indie stuff because they just want that built-in market.
Yeah,
And but the fans are just tired of the same thing, and they're just
tired.
not listening to each other. And the fans keep buying the same old stuff and complaining about it. And the publishers look at it and they say, see, they only want the same stuff, and so they keep
Because
making
that's
the
what
same
it
stuff. And
yeah,
it's just a toxic relationship that they're in.
yeah,
It's just like, and I always have to tell people, I'm like, you realize like God of War. it wasn't the smallest budget game when it first came out, but it was a big swing that they took. Grand Theft Auto started as a pixel game, another big swing. There's a lot of our current games right now that started as an indie idea, right? It's just like a
Yeah.
hunch. Here's a demo, and someone believed in it, and that has really stopped. And my friend put out a video called the death of the double A, or the death of the middle is what it was. And
Mm,
basically, it talks about you had single A projects, you had double A projects, and you have triple A projects, and all the experimentation was done at the double A level, where you had enough of a budget to try something cool,
yeah.
um, and actually had a budget to make it to see it through. Versus an indie game, sometimes you have to compromise on a lot of ideas. So that's why a lot of indie games are very artsy, because you don't have to worry about complex mechanics. You can just have a
Mm,
game where you walk around and listen to story and read story and stuff like that. Double A's had the gameplay and that ability, where
mm,
triple A was always under the microscope of like, it has to sell, has to sell, that has to be a product. And I loved my time in double A, and I thought that was some of the most fun projects I've ever worked on, was double A projects, because you can come up with new ideas and experiment, and then those went on to become today's triple A. And
right.
we're just not seeing, there was no lessons learned, right? And so we're gonna that bubble will pop soon, I'm pretty sure,
I
and
was
I don't
gonna
know what's
say,
gonna happen.
do you foresee in your business when it will pop, how it will pop? Because I've been on this soapbox for 2 years, and I'm just like, when is it gonna end? When are they finally
Well,
gonna take chances and give us new stuff that we can actually spend money on? Because I'm so tired
so
of the same BS.
so what I see is the triple A, what is it, method? Yeah, yeah. So see, like arc raiders and stuff like that. I mean, I mean, it's coming back. Like double A is coming back, but it's not being done here in the United States. We're just too
No?
expensive. It's
Yeah.
being done overseas and all that, and it's going to be done with the rise of AI. Like that's the way it's going to be, because I mean, yeah, whether we like it or not, like it's the truth of the matter. I was talking to Joe about this earlier
Man.
in the weekend. So here's the deal, and we're going to do it to ourselves. This is the problem. We're going to do it to ourselves. So okay, so recently, I'd say like in the past 5 years, double A, double A's not back, but the embers are rekindling, right? Um, so you had games like Stellar Blade, you had games like Black Myth Wukong, and then Arc Raiders, and a couple of these other games that are being made overseas in China and stuff like that, or in Europe, like with Expedition 33 and all that. Those are not cheap games. These are AAA budgets back in the early 2000s, but they're 50 million, sub 50 million project. Those projects are starting to make their steps, and luckily they've been good, because if they haven't been good, then we wouldn't be seeing this. So
Right?
yes, now publishers are kind of noticing that, and they're kind of like, why are we spending so much money here in the United States when we could be spending that money overseas, right? Okay, that's another tale. So what's
Right.
happening now is that you're seeing a ton of massive layoffs, and I can't think of the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 20,000 people have been laid off in the last like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. I used to know that number. I need to I can't keep up with that number, unfortunately. That's the problem. So what you're seeing is all these layoffs are happening, right? So you get
Yeah.
people who are real passionate about games, who are just starting their career, getting laid off. So then they're forced to go re-enter the job market, where they're competing against other people like myself or whatever, people that can slap 20 years experience on their resumes and stuff like that. And they're not going to get jobs. Trust me. I feel bad for all these people. They just need to find another industry, because it's going to be bad. And it is bad. Not even going to be bad. Yeah, Epic just did a big one. Uh, had a lot of friends affected by that one. And
Shoot.
what happens is, those people, a majority of them will find something else to do. They'll just go to another industry, or leave art altogether and just do it as a hobby or whatever. The ones that are still passionate, they're going to be like, how can I continue making games? So they're going to get into Unity. They're going to start getting their friends together, right, and making these games on the side. Okay, that's going to be cool. That's going to work for a little bit. Now there will be some of them that, through traditional means, will make games and go forward, and maybe make a new little studio, or maybe it fails or whatever, but they'll do it traditionally. There's going to be the people that will notice that they're going to be like, oh shit, games cost a lot of money to make, and I can't afford a programmer right now. So what do I do? I still want to make games. And so they're going to go and they're going to go down the AI method, right? They're going to go in there and they're going to start buying templates. They're going to use AI to modify these templates. And then all the new kids that are just graduating, to them, AI
Transfer.
is normalized already. AI
Yeah.
is already normalized. So they're going to be like, ooh, I can't get a job. I'm going to make games. And so instead of trying to do it the traditional way, they're going to just immediately just go, okay, cool, let's do AI. And so that's going to be the new generation. And
No.
whether people like it or not, in it's going to break down the walls of classism, because rich people shouldn't be the only ones making this type of stuff. And because when rich people are the only ones making this type of stuff, that's how you get the regurgitation of ideas, because they're going to want to return on their investment. And so on the positive side of things, you're going to start seeing a lot of these new ideas come out from people that otherwise would never be able to tell their stories, or never be able to do a game experience. And that's what's going to do it. We're going to do it to ourselves because we're not willing to invest in ourselves anymore.
Oh, Lord. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think about the classism side of it either.
Right.
I mean, granted, we're not doing ourselves any favors. We're going to burn this world down with all the heat we're generating. But at the same time, the more we use it, the smaller the technology gets, and the more efficient it gets too. So the more we use it, the data center. No billionaire wants data centers. No billionaire wants to house these cooling units. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. So they're investing a shit ton of money to minimize the technology and the cooling systems. If we make it that far, who knows? But I'm not going to
Maybe
say,
the AI just blow us all up. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's time. We've had a good run. Like, that's for damn sure, right? Like, it's we've had a good run.
Well, we're gonna end up
We've
in
had
my story pretty soon.
a, yeah, but that's how it's gonna happen. Whether we like it or not, that's what's happening. It's just like iTunes, right? When iTunes came out, everyone was like, oh well, it's just a thing. And
Right.
then
I still have
the
my
kids,
CD.
yeah, the kids that started growing up, that were getting their allowances from their parents, they were like, ooh, I can go buy a CD for $15, or I can handpick 15 songs that I want for $15. And that destroyed the CD album, right? Like, 'cause I miss albums that told a story, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not feasible anymore. You have the bands that still do it, but realistically, that's gone. That's absolutely gone. It has its niche, right? We're seeing a resurgence of CDs now, right? It used to be records and vinyls. Now we're seeing a
Yeah,
resurgence of
especially
CDs.
vinyls.
It's so cool, but it's
Hmm.
never going to be mainstream again, I don't think.
No.
Um,
No, it won't.
yeah, but that's fine, because that introduced us into a world where, well, for better or worse, that anyone can be a musician, right? Like, well,
Right.
relatively speaking, but we got a lot of really great artists that way. A lot of really great indie rock bands and metal bands that I listened to, I would have never ever heard, right? If it wasn't for any of this outreach. So we can focus on the bad, but we can also go focus on the good. And that's going to be our decision on which way to go.
Well,
It is here.
I'm with you, where it's like, I understand that, times change, and you either change with the times or you get left behind, unfortunately. That doesn't mean that I have to use
Doesn't mean, yeah,
the
doesn't mean
product.
you have to.
It's like,
That's
I
it. That's
don't
up to
know.
everyone. That's everyone's journey, right? It's up to
Yeah,
everyone. I know some hardcore artists that refuse to use Photoshop, and they just still
yeah,
draw on paper. That's fine. That's great. They make art that's beautiful. It doesn't knock down or disable someone else's art that they do on Photoshop either. It's all fun to me. At the end of the day, that this is the other thing I say. At the end of the day, no one ever thinks about this portion either. The consumer doesn't care about process
isn't it
most of the time. Most of
terrible?
the time, there are some. There's some, and they're vocal about it. They'll go downvote stuff on Steam if they see the tiniest little thing, and they're like, "That's AI." Like,
That's
they'll
what I'm
downvote.
talking about. It's like with video games where it's like the 6 years of your life that you put into it, and someone's just like, "I found a glitch," and then it's over, and I'm like, "Come
Yeah,
on." It's like,
yeah. And then so
I don't
with people like
understand.
me, you start thinking about that. You're like, I just spent 6 years of my life to get that burnt down. I could have spent 2 years with an AI programmer doing this and getting it out of the way, right? Where I could be just telling more stories faster, getting more product out there. It
Gosh.
it starts starts looking okay. And again, this is something that we're gonna do to ourselves, right? We're gonna do it to ourselves, right? Because you can only beat down someone so much before they start looking at alternatives and they start like, you know what? Maybe I should go do that because my work here is not being appreciated, right? And it's true for anything. It doesn't have to do with AI or anything. It's true for anything. If you
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a consumer doesn't really care. A majority of the consumers don't really care about how you got there. They just care about the final product. Is it fun or not? I can go on. We can talk about process for the games that we make and how we handcraft everything, how a character takes 3 months to make, and they're gonna be like, yeah, so what? Like they don't care.
Because they don't
No,
understand, yeah, and they don't understand the work that goes into it. It's like listening to, like you said, like to music, um, I mean, like classical music, how musicians will practice for years and years and years honing their craft, and they'll listen to 30 seconds and be like, "That's nice." Click.
yeah, yep,
Like, "Oh my god."
yeah,
It's just people. That's
yeah,
all.
or people who have, yeah, exactly like what Joe said.
McDonald's. That's what caused the apocalypse, by the way, just in case you didn't know, that's what broke death, McDonald's. Thank you. Thank you for
And
coming to my TED.
so you can have talks about everything, but at the end of the day, if we're on a podcast like this or some of these other great podcasts that I've been on where they want to learn about my process, I'm like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, I'll break out the Miro boards and the Excel sheets and the writing stuff, and I'm like talking about it and stuff. But at the end of the day, they're just like, ha, Bella's got big old boobies. I like that. It's like, like, okay, great, thank
Forget
you.
it. Forget it.
There
You
you go.
learned nothing.
I mean, yeah, like you
Like,
said,
that's what you're here for. Do you want the
circling
cover? Do you want the story? Right.
circling real far back to what you said, like that Chancla is a very different type of character, but I still
Yeah.
have the archetypes for everyone else, for those people that like that. It's like, yeah, I know how to make a product and I have
Right.
to cater to certain
Right.
demographics, right? I can't just I could, I guess,
You
stick
could,
myself into a
yeah.
far niche, but at the end of the day, it is a product. It's something I'm passionate about, but it would be nice to be able to get a dollar or two, back from my
Right.
investment.
I don't know,
Uh,
be successful, actually get paid back for all the hard work that you put in. Nah, let's not do that. Starving artist. Before we go any further, what I would usually do is right around an hour, we play a game, Jesse.
oh
And
no.
so I have a game for you. There's no
It's
points, there's no
tur
rules.
it's like my favorite game, turn off the lights and feel around. Is that what it is?
No, no.
No? Play Who's in
What
My
the
Mouth?
hell? No, no, it's called Would You Hug This? Are you ready?
Oh, that's all right. This is
There's no points. All you do is tell me if yes, you would hug this or no, you would not. Welcome to Would You Hug This Chancla edition.
oh dear.
Don't
All
worry.
right.
We always start out easy. This one is pretty easy. Here you go. Would you hug this potato-ish figure holding a chancla?
So, going back to the survival instinct, I would hug him. He's friend-shaped, right? Friend-shaped, but the aggressive manner and stance and the fact that he has one of the most invincible weapons ever in his hand, I would run, so I would not hug this. No.
Oh no, no, this was the easy one.
No. I'm Latino. Like that is a sign of aggression. I'm about to
Just
get
you
whooped.
wait.
Is what's
I
gonna
don't
happen.
even like. Okay. I'm trying to rate these. Um, because I always try to like. Okay, now we're gonna escalate, so we'll go a step up, right? And by the
All
time
right.
we get to the end, it's just something unhinged. So,
Yeah.
as you can
I am
see,
pretty
we
unhinged.
we have some more.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But
Well,
she looks nice,
one, but she's not holding it in an aggressive manner,
right? And
right?
she's smiling.
This because, this could be a fun paddle time, I guess. So yeah, I could hug her.
Oh, you're gonna hug this one. Okay, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
I don't know
eyes
what
are
I'm
very intense, though.
but the playful manner of holding the chancla leads me to be a little curious. Like, what's
Yeah,
like I said, it could be fun paddle time. So yeah,
it might be. I mean, like, and the chancla matches her outfit, and
yeah,
she's,
it's nice.
it
She's using a
it's
good color
not like
palette.
no, I don't think she's sniffing it, no. I think,
No, but he is right. I am weird.
she's sniffing it, he's weird.
I
Are
can see.
alright.
All right, let's see.
It's still, this yeah, I think this is a step up. Still smiling, but I think it's a smiling as I'm going to kill you when we get
Yeah, yeah.
home.
That's
Um,
definitely not a hug. That's a maniacal mom who you've been running around the party a little too much, and yeah, she's about to. You just got
mhm.
home, is what it is.
Welcome
Yeah,
home,
yeah.
Jesse.
That is
Meet your
definitely
maker.
not one.
We're yeah, we're probably not hugging the rest of these, I'm just saying. I don't know. I wanna go this one. This is like OG. This is OG grandma. Like, you messed up. You messed up. If that's the OG chancla right there. You know what I mean? It's not fancy looking. It's just meant to get the job done. Chancla,
Yeah,
no chancla. I would not play that game.
this
Thanks.
is this is a ricochet grandma because she can throw that chancla and it will hit a wall and hit you somehow, around
Right?
the corner. Like this one's had experience.
You
I've seen it.
you're at your friend's house. You say
She's
something.
she's got the short hair, which means she just does not have time to fuck around with
Right.
anything. She's just straight and to the point. She's gonna whoop your
Exactly.
ass. Yep, she'll whoop your
Like,
ass.
"What did you say? You took the Lord's name in vain in my kitchen? Uh-uh."
Yeah. Meanwhile, cussing and everything, calling you every kind of bad word possible. That's what my mom would do. My mom would call me all kinds of bad stuff. Oh, this one's satirical. I can hug
Yeah,
her.
it
She
is.
doesn't. Yeah,
This one is
she
the meme version. "That's my
yeah,
neighbor."
yeah. This one's
Uh-huh.
fine. She
Yeah,
poses no threat.
that one's okay? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that one
there's
was
no
the
that.
meme.
It's like growing up, you learn where the threats are. That one's no threat. She's not gonna hit me. Oh, so this
Back
one
like
is hard because you're looking at a silhouette, right? So this pulls up the whole hunter gatherer thing, so my whole instinct goes straight to silhouette. Am I in danger? And so the hand up in an aggressive manner, I'm in danger. The haircut, no, because to me the haircut kind of tells me this is a white woman, so she will not be able to hit me at all. So I'm not
Oh,
in
she looks
danger.
Mexican to me.
No,
I'm
it's
concerned
the
about the shoe. That's not a chancla, that's a freaking shoe. Like, is that a hard sole shoe?
is it a potato?
I
Because you
don't
bring up a
think
good
it's
point. You bring up a good point. I think I've been conditioned over the past like 5 images to assume it's a chancla. But like I said, like if I'm just looking at silhouette, like that to me is not a Mexican woman haircut. It's usually the short curly
right.
hair on the top, or it's something long, or something down here. But I can see it. That's not saying that
I
Mexican.
had aunties that had that haircut.
But to me,
It was scary.
poses as no threat.
My 2 aunties from Mexico that were twins, and they both wore these giant sunglasses, all the time, like, during the day, so you could
Mhm.
never see who they were talking to.
Oh boy,
They were they were
that's
they were great.
incognito.
They were they were only slightly scary. And now this one I think is the scariest because you don't know where the chancla is.
Yeah,
The
that's you're
chancla could be
already
anywhere.
you're already in the process of getting whooped here, so I can't hug her.
Face. You
You're
need
it's too
yeah,
late.
yeah,
It's like
you are mm,
it's like
the
what is it
chancla's
like when you see a
behind you.
bear, you're already dead or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
pretty much
like,
it.
"Is it behind me?" "He's behind me, isn't he?" Yeah. The chancla is boomeranged around and is going to smack you in the back of the head, and then in the front. That's what it does. Is it Karen? I don't know.
The one before.
Yeah, yeah,
That's kind of like what I was getting from the vibes.
the haircut. Oh, you have survived. Was that was not so bad, right?
Yeah, there was a couple huggers in there.
I don't know, I wasn't gonna hug anybody, but thank
I
you
mean,
for playing.
at the end of the day, I was going to say that at the end of the day, if you want to just get if you want to stop getting whooped, you have to hug them all anyways.
That's true. I think
Yeah.
that is, isn't that the kinda the kryptonite
Yep.
for
You
the
have to hug and you have to admit
mommy?
to being wrong.
I know. Fish got rabbits and fish, like the ugliest looking ones I could find.
I mean, at least those are mostly all friend shaped. Like
Yeah, mostly
for
friendship,
me, all that was terrifying. Yeah, I had so many flashbacks. It
PTSD.
was just not. She triggered a lot of traumatic uh, responses. I
They're
had
like,
my
"That's too tame." Come on, you guys. It was more it was more for Jesse. It wasn't.
it's it's a yeah, it's a Latino thing. This is one of the most
That was
terrifying segments I've
terrifying
ever been
for
in.
Jesse.
Yeah, I was yes, I'm in a dark room if you guys can't tell. Like this is not a safe space. I could
Don't be
be
surprised if we see a chunkla fly through the air on the show and hit Jesse just for
yeah.
talking about
My
it.
mom, like her ears are burning right now, and she's just like,
"I'm
"Ese
sorry,
hijo de."
mom. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to make you cry." Yeah, that's what you gotta say.
Yeah, I am sorry, mom. Yeah. It could be her fault, but you have to apologize to her for making her cry.
Right. Yes. I make my kids do that now.
Yes.
You made me feel bad.
Yeah.
Tell me you're
I
sorry.
mean, if you can't gaslight your kids correctly, I mean, are you even like parenting right?
You doing it right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you dumb kids.
All right. So chocolate has been printed. Did
Yes.
was there a campaign and I missed it, or did you go just
No,
straight to print?
no, no. This is going straight. So this is the first print run, right? Like this
Yeah.
cover, I'm never printing this cover again. After this run, this cover's gone.
So how do
Um,
people get them besides know you, right?
I don't
Because
know. I don't know.
Jesse,
That's
how
a
do
good
people get them?
question. That's a good question.
See you at a Comic-Con, right? But also,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
can they get it from the
No,
website or
no, no, you can't right
Jesse?
now. I am you don't know how unprepared I am for this launch.
Come on.
I literally 4 a.m. Saturday morning was trying my best to get these fully bagged and boarded. Like, I don't know. Maybe sometime I'll put it up. I don't know. So like, okay,
Let
like
me get
serious business talk. Um, conventions, right? But
right?
I haven't sent out my newsletter to say, hey, I'm at these conventions yet. Um, it's scary. Like I don't, I have to type to people. It's like talking to people. So it's like it's scary. Uh, I will do that. I will do that very soon. The other way is through um newsletter. I'm gonna put out a thing that says, hey, if you want it, come get it, right?
Yeah.
And so the fastest and easiest way to get it, if you're not from Texas right now, uh, is to sign up on the newsletter because I have not sent that email out yet. And it's thechancla.com because I can't afford lachancla.com. So it's
Aw.
thechancla.com. I did consider getting the lachancla.com, which would have been fun. But
Only slightly
but
repetitive.
if I manage to sell all these books, I am
Yeah.
considering buying lachancla.com. I
Oh,
think La
good.
Chancla is for sale, or fearlachancla.com is also for sale.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're one of those two is for sale, and they're going to be like 5 grand or something like that. And
Oh
I
my
don't know,
god.
maybe I'll buy it. But either way, right now that's the only way. So this book here, it's a first print run, only 200 covers. Every cover is unique. Every cover is numbered. There are 5 of them that I stabbed with knives myself.
Mm.
If you pick because what I'm going to do is this is actually the reason I haven't done this yet, is because I have to figure out on my store how to have someone buy it and then tell me what number they want. Right. I need to have a drop
Interesting,
down
yeah.
list of all the numbers that are available, and then they pick the ones that are still available. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm just going to send out random ones, but that kind of defeats the purpose of getting the stabbed version unless I just go and I just pick one randomly. Maybe that's the way I'll work.
I mean,
But
yeah, and I mean, like, could they put something in the comments?
they could, but they don't know what numbers are available. That's a problem.
Ah. You
And
have
so
to have a list.
what we found
Yeah,
is
that's
kind of
yeah.
it's kind of fun for people. Like I pull out this big box. I'm like, it's 200 books. And I'm like, pick a number. That's your splat. And then they pick a number, and I just go, "Whoop, there you go." And they're just like, "Oh wow, that's cool." And I have three of them displayed. I'm like, you can pick one of these three that you already know what it looks like, or you have a chance at getting a stabbed version or the Fear La Chancla version. Because there's three of them that I wrote Fear La Chancla, and if they pick Fear La Chancla, they get free prints. And if they
Cool.
pick the stabbed version, they get some free merch, some of my free merch that I
That's
showed you,
cool.
some of the keychains and stuff like that. And there's five of the stab versions and three of the Fear La Chanclas. Only one stab version has been found so far. So I'm
I was
trying to make it
close.
fun for yeah, I'm trying to make it fun for people. After Comic Palooza, I'll definitely know how this book does. Um, but right now that's the only way to do it because there's other reasons why I'm doing this as well. I'm not doing a Kickstarter because there's two indie publishers are interested in the book, and
Mm,
I'm vetting them. I know I have a really cool product, so
yes.
and so when they saw it, I sent out some books. They messaged me and they're like, "Holy crap, dude! Like this is awesome!" And I'm like, "Cool." And I go and I look at their Kickstarters, and I'm just like, "Oh shit!" Like some of these guys raise a ton of money, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, we can probably talk." So I got to see what these deals are. What do you bring to the
Yes.
table, right? I've already brought this product. What do you bring? I've paid for this entire thing myself. So if they're willing to throw thousands of dollars into covers and they got mailing lists of hundreds of thousands of people, hell yeah, I'll do that. But I'm saving the Kickstarter for them. Thank you so much.
Gotcha.
We'll be in San Antonio, by the way, a couple times. If you want to meet me out at Etchy Fiesta, I'm gonna have all kinds of fun stuff there. And then of course we're gonna be doing Big Texas Casa, and then I think I'm doing the book show that takes place during Casa.
Jesse and I will both be at big. Are we sharing a spot? You, me, and Joe?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be interesting. And you'll see you'll see the magic. You'll see how it works. You'll see why Joe cries himself to bed every night because he has to work with me.
I was hoping you get that wrap display for the table for that.
I could. I mean,
That would be funny. Carrie sent me a picture for you to hug, by the way. We'll see if you
mm,
want to hug this. Do 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 do. Do you want to hug the actual chocolate?
that's fine.
That's okay.
That's like a bullet. A bullet doesn't kill people. People kill people. A chancla,
He's not
chancla is
gonna
nothing.
kill himself.
Yeah. If anything, now I have the weapon.
Yeah. Ha!
Now I'm the most powerful being in existence.
That's right. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
So San Antonio Nerd Coalition. Yeah, they're doing a booth at Etchy. Yeah. No, we'll be there. I'm gonna test chancla. They're 18. It's 18 plus because there are some boobalubas in there. Um, and then
Boobaloo.
yep. And then I'm gonna have I do not safe for work prints and stuff and stickers and everything. So gonna give it a shot. Now those
Is
are
an
ancient.
octopus in a chocolate? Is that what
Those are
this is? Carrie?
ancient weapons of war there.
Been adopted by the
Hmm.
octopus of war. There you go.
Yeah, chanclas are like the sharks of the shoe world, right? Like they hit their evolutionary peak and that's just where they're gonna be for millions of years. There's
I
no
heard
reason.
I heard a conspiracy theory that octopus are not from this planet.
Yeah, yeah. Octopus are some of the weirdest creatures ever. They are, and I just had an octopus conversation at
Shut up.
what you call it? Yeah, at Staple because I was
But
telling them like because octopi the mothers they give birth right and they protect their to the babies hatch or whatever they to the brood or whatever but the mothers die because
right.
they starve to death.
Yep.
So they cannot pass down generational knowledge to their babies.
So
So as soon as either octopi get past that or they find ways to survive, like if they can figure out a life mate that will feed them
bring
and
them food.
they just need that one little thing, they'll be able to pass down generational knowledge. And if you've ever watched crazy octopus videos, they are smart as hell. But you got
Yes.
to realize that they start learning all that from the beginning, from scratch, every
Oh my god.
single time. So if they were able to pass down generational knowledge, they would be
flying spaceships.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's the same thing with ants. Ants, if it wasn't for their size, like if we didn't exist, right? We're the assholes, right? We smashed
Right.
all the ants. Ants, if an alien species came to the planet, they would think that ants were the ones that ran the planet because there's so many of them. Ants and insects like
This
outnumber us.
is true.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that hive mind mentality is just like it's crazy. Like those two species are insane. How it's a struggle to call intelligence, right? Because intelligence is a very specific term.
Right.
I do believe octopi are
Octopi
intelligent.
are definitely intelligent because they
Intelligent.
solve puzzles. Like they put them through mazes and they solve riddles, like in order to get food. You see them
Yeah,
all.
it's like elephants. Elephants, I think, are
Mhm.
very intellectual, and whales, like they have family pods. You know, they mourn. They
Yeah.
do all kinds of stuff that we do that we just don't pay attention to because they're just animals, right? And but we're animals too. We just
Yes.
ha ha ha. Look at us, right? We have crippling debt. They don't have crippling debt. You know, like you kind of like
Who's really
have
the
to
winner
ask.
here?
Yeah.
I gotta pay a mortgage.
um.
There was a story about an elephant that it had it out for this one lady, trampled the lady, and this is I think in India, and then like at her funeral, that elephant showed up at her funeral and trampled the coffin with her body
Yep.
in it again. Like it had an agenda. Like
It
it's
remembered.
like
It's
F
like
you, I'm gonna kill you,
fuck
and F
you
you
in
again.
particular.
Yeah.
You, yeah, yeah, I hate you. Oh, I got a question. Would I have hugged the underwater one? No, because I'm terrified of water. So or
I am
deep
too.
deep bodies of water. That would be
Mm,
silly of me to hug that
nope.
one. As far as
Mhm.
I'm concerned, that chancla is out of commission and poses no threat
Yes,
unless there
I
was an
agree.
octopus
If it's
nearby.
in the ocean, we don't go there.
No, no, no. There are no
No.
grandmas in the ocean that I know of.
Uh, no. Unless, I mean,
Yeah,
like, you do different species, but no, no. That
but
would
that
be so
was
scary. Oh my god, there's a story for you.
yeah,
Talk like walking out of the ocean.
a sea chancla. Yeah, that'd be
Terrifying.
uh, that. Yeah, that. Hmm.
Just saying.
The-
You run with that.
I don't know. Like I've been doing some bikini prints, right? I could do one of chancla,
Yeah,
like walking out the James Bond walk out of the ocean.
with the weapons. Now, can we talk about the gun nunchucks?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You can we can
Okay,
show
cool.
previews of the book. It's fine.
Can I what?
You
I can
can
show
yeah,
that
you
off?
can show previews.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
It's so I don't know where to stop though, that's the problem. I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling anything.
We can do the voices, you know. We can narrate, we can do a puppet show, we can do whatever you want. As
Can
far as
we
I'm
please do a
concerned,
puppet show?
yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the story's that, it belongs to everyone. It's fine.
Alright, where did
Oh,
she say it? There's a page where she was so okay, so fresca, which means strawberry, by the way. I
fresa,
was
yeah.
like, "Strawberry."
Well, fresa also means it's kind of like a hip, cool girl.
Yeah,
Like that's the slang they call you, or even a guy that they'll call them fresas. They're like like hip, cool city people up with the trends.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there is
She
one thing. Have you ever seen Scary Movie 3 or
I'm
4?
sure I
Yeah,
have.
3.
I think
Uh,
I've seen almost all of them. I might not have seen, like, the last one, but
so it's the one based on Signs, where the the aliens come down, swing away, that kind of stuff.
yeah, okay.
So in that Scary Movie, yeah, Scary Movie 3, there's a sheriff that has her hat, and in every scene the hat gets bigger and bigger
I have seen
and
that.
bigger and bigger. She's trying to get in her car and stuff the hat in the car. I have this thing with my artist because Fresa starts off with her bows like this small, and as the story goes on, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like this massive anime one. And then there was the last one that he did, which is the one that's teaching the gringos the words. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, man, we got to make this smaller. So I had to bring it in. I was just like, come on, dude. Like, so he brought it in, and yeah, so I love that dude. He's
Alright,
funny.
alright. So I'm not gonna spoil like, you have to read this book, you guys. You have to read it. And I love that it's in Spanglish, you know what I mean? Like, they speak English most of the time, but then they'll say things to each other in Spanish.
Yeah.
So
I don't
brush up
trans
on your Spanish.
I don't translate it either.
So I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, look at the bow on her head at this point.
That's
Right?
that's her skill level. Like
Oh,
that's her rate
yeah.
her meter. Yeah, it's building up, and when she lets it out, it goes back down. You know.
So she was talking earlier about she's hoping to use these gun nunchucks. And at that panel, I was like, Jesse, you better deliver on these nunchucks, like in this issue, right? Because I was like, oh, I better see this happen. And so we do. I was so excited we got to this point. And she goes, Mihai's time. And she's like, really? So she pulls out these gun nunchucks.
Yep. She puts on her headphones and starts listening to
Yeah,
La Chona.
the music is playing.
Yeah. Look. Yep. And then she just starts going at it. She starts dancing, and she starts dancing and blasting this robot because they're fighting a robot, which is designation GRN-G0, which is
Bingo.
Gringo. He
There's so
starts
many
like,
things. It's so
yeah,
funny.
yeah, like, dude, I let out all my Latino rage in these books. I'm just like, yeah,
Oh my god. And I'm just cracking up.
yeah. And so the lyrics to the song are actually very, very relevant to what's going on and like who she is and stuff like that. So it's just talking the lyrics to the song talk about a girl that goes to a dance and she's dancing by herself and she's taking drinks and she's just dancing and no one can keep up with her and stuff like that. So it makes like perfect sense like with what's
Yeah.
going on. And she does the Sailor Moon thing there. If you see
Yeah.
the,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
that Sailor Moon, and then the Power
Exactly.
Ranger
It's
pose.
very Sailor Moon
Boom.
with especially like right here where she's doing the move of like silhouette and it's just
Yeah, yeah.
this is
And
hilarious.
this book, I see a San Antonio Nerd Coalition there. Yeah, this book right now, it's not going to be true going forward, but it was real important here for issue 0 to be 100% Latino made. So it is everyone that has helped with this. Every single person is 100% Latino.
Like you suck at dancing, Buddha.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
and so the
good.
interior of the book, I wanted it to feel like dirty paper. Go back to the introduction of the
Yes,
characters,
that's you
the
read
very
my
beginning.
mind. That's where I'm going.
Um, it is very important for me to make this feel like Grindhouse, and so we initially did some color experimentation. And yeah, like here you go. You can see what's going on here. Like this is the way the inside of these books are. It's got blood everywhere, and then it's got the alien blood or ghost blood, I guess, if you want to call them that. But it's got all their photos, their uh, lineup photos, and it's got who they are, and it's got their dossier stuff and everything. So it's very much told in a grindhouse manner, and you get introduced to all of them. It's just
Yeah.
Guacho. My name is Guacho. Only Chancla calls me John. He's actually John Dove Senior is mine and my friend's algebra teacher from junior high. He was a POW in the Vietnam War,
Okay.
and he was obsessed with possums. And so I've always wanted to put him into a story, but I could never figure out how. And then he passed away, and then it just made
Aw.
sense when I was like trying to come up with someone to help be the patriarch, because Chancla is obviously the matriarch, and I needed a patriarch figure to balance her out, and someone that can be the calm collected while she's just the rage. And so, which is odd because snipers are some of the most destructive people out there, but they're calm and collected. They have to be. And so it made perfect sense that would be him. And so I sent it to his daughter, who's one of our real good friends, and
Oh,
she's just like, oh my god, like she's like in tears, like it looks just
aw,
like him and everything. I'm like, well, we're about to have an adventure with him, so let's
that's
do it.
awesome. I
And
was like,
then
"How you gonna name him Elote?" I was like,
I don't know, man. Like it's just one of the words that I've always thought would be an awesome name. Elote, and it's
"Snack,
just I don't know. It's just yeah. I
delicious."
I I I have a lot of weird naming conventions with things. Like in Teen Strike, there's gonna be a couple people coming up there named after engine parts. Just really cool sounding engine parts. Cool. Um, yeah, and then Paloma, of course,
Mhm.
flying her chopper. She's got a real interesting story. You don't get to know her too much because she's the pilot. She's always away and comes back,
Yeah,
but But there's gonna be a segment where you kind of get to know her and her. I'm not sure if I should make it adopted daughter yet or not, but she has a daughter, and so you get to know a little bit about her backstory, and she's got scars across her face because she was in a helicopter with Guacho and their unit when they got shot down and crash landed and stuff like that in the final events of Teen Strike. And so it's just part of
Yeah.
her story. And you got Fresa there and Vela. You can see, look at her bow there, right? She hasn't
Yeah.
started combat
Yeah.
yet. Her bow is empty. Her bow power is empty.
It's so
But
funny that you mentioned that. I didn't catch it, the first read, and it's so I like little details like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if you go back and you read it, you're like, "Wait a minute. Why
and
is her
so
bow so big all of a sudden?"
but
Yeah,
yeah, this is
19.
we did it in color. We were starting to do it in color, and it just made no sense for me to do it in color. And I was like, no, this needs to feel like a zine. This needs to feel like an old rag from the punk rock era. Like it just needs to feel like that. And you can scroll down and show some of the bloody stuff if you want. Like
Yeah.
it's again, this is issue 0, so you're getting to see everyone. And if you don't notice either, like every time Vela activates her demon powers, the page is burnt. So like, look at the bottom of the page.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can see
look.
how it's all
That's so
burning.
cool.
Yeah, so it's got that. So okay, so going back to the physical prints, if I sell out all these 200 and I have to do a second print run, I'm gonna
Oh,
do
you
it with Vela, the Vela painting that I did, and I'm
oh,
gonna be burning
so
those, and I'm gonna be doing blue blood from later panels here.
Jesse, you're so smart. Those are all gonna sell, man.
But
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
it's important for me to just make this ridiculous, right? So again, this is Grindhouse. I'm not. You
Look
don't
at her,
come in
man.
here and expect Shakespeare or anything like that. This is literally just like a holy crap, like it's a nonstop ride. Like it just things escalate and get bigger and bigger.
I hope to be an abuelita like this someday. I'm just gonna have all my knives just wrapped around me in a
Hell
certain
yeah.
way, and my kids are gonna
We
be so embarrassed by me. That's my bucket list right there.
Yeah, and any of you guys that know me in the chat personally, like send me a number 1 through 200, and that'll be yours. All this stuff. Yeah.
This is so funny too. Where he was like, "Hey, they're talking about football, the Cowboys and the Texans. I don't know." And then, what the? We're just gonna ignore that. It's like we're not gonna go there. Okay.
That's the little surprise. That's a little lull. Surprise, putos. That's her. That's her favorite word.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Burnt again.
th- yeah, there's a lot of subtlety in this book. There's a lot of subtlety in this book. Lot of real interesting things. Like if you really know Spanish. Oh,
Mhm.
actually, 13 is gone.
Pick another one.
Yep, 13 is gone. 13 and 7. Laurie picked 7.
I pick 7.
13 was one of our biggest followers. I gave her first shot and I said, pick a number. She's like 13.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Now,
it's
there's some of the times when Vela is talking, I have no idea what she's saying. Is because it doesn't
yeah.
look like Spanish to me. Is it?
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at. There's 3 different types of Spanish in here. There's your typical modern day, like kind of Tex-Mex Spanish. Well, actually, I guess 4 types. There's Tex-Mex in here where they go between
Yeah.
words. Then there's modern Spanish, which is what Chancla speaks, but it's a little bit on the simple side. And then there's Spaniard Spanish when they came and invaded. That's what Vela
Ah,
speaks. And then there's a mix of Spanish, or sorry, there's a mix of Aztec and Nordic, which is
yes,
what
oh,
the other word is that they speak.
sorry. I'll find a section where there's a lot like here. Okay. Well, I'm not showing you that. No, sorry. I'm not gonna spoil the whole thing. Like I know Jesse is just like put it up there, but no, you guys have to see. You have to see like the gun nunchucks and the blue
137.
ghost
Okay.
machine.
That's
Oh,
both 13 and 7. That's a good one. I'll check. I don't think 137 was chosen. I know I finally forced someone to pick a triple digit number. It was really odd. Joe and I were noticing that when we gave them the choice between 1 and 200, everyone was like 20,
isn't that
30,
weird?
and
Yeah,
everyone chose all the low numbers. And then I told someone, I said, hey man, pick a triple digit number and
yeah.
I'll give you some merch. And so they was like, okay. I was like, you're the first one to pick triple digit. Here you go. Here's some merch.
I'm going to show boobs. Be
Yeah,
aware.
it's great. We all love it. I love it.
So, there is a big moment here, and I'm not gonna explain it, and I'm not gonna say anything about it. You guys have to read the book to find out what the heck is happening here. But, like, I was trying to figure out what she's saying, and I have no idea.
Yeah, these are not Spanish.
I did not think so.
It's a mix of Aztec and Nordic, Nordic-ish language.
Weird.
Yeah, it's it's very purposeful. Um, am I like a linguist? No, but I did my best. That's all I can say. But
So,
it's and I did put a lot of effort into that. So we'll
yeah,
see. Should be able. I don't know. Maybe I should try a reverse translation. I'll have to see how that works. But yes, this is
no.
a pivotal moment in the book, and this is what sets up the graphic novel.
Yeah, I was gonna
Uh,
say, and I'm so glad you're doing that because just by this image, there's 5,000 questions in my brain.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
I'm probably not going to answer them all. Like, I'm
it's
not
okay.
the best storyteller,
But
but
that's I know you, so I can just be like, "So then, Jesse, what about this?" Like I did,
well,
because my kids are reading, Teen Strike, right?
mhm.
And so that's one of the benefits of knowing the author is my kids are like, "So is this character really like this in real life?" And so I was like, "Dear Jesse, is this character?" He was like, "Oh yeah, she's like that." Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, Teen
now you know.
Strike. I've had some people like the stuff that with my well, so Teen Strike's autobiographical in a way.
Yeah.
So it really does have my first girlfriend in there, Trisha, and there was times where there's certain things in there where I just message her on the side. I'm like, "Hey, Trisha," and I'll ask her a question, and she answers me, and I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, because it's just random questions, and then I'll send her like a copy of the script, and she's just like, "Oh Lord," like and I'll send her like images of things that are going on, and in there, like I was like, "Hey, Trisha, ice cream or gelato?" And she's like, "Gelato, but only if it's real, real." And I was like, "Oh, that's perfect." So I wrote that in there, and Jesse asked her, she's like, ice cream or gelato when they're first starting to get to know each other. She's like gelato, but only if it's real, real. And so I've taken her from the script point. I sent her a screenshot of the script to the sketches, to the inks, and to the final color portion. And she's just in love with the book. Like it really there's a lot of things about her and I, red strings to destiny kind of thing that she'll even though we're not together, like we'll always be friends and we'll always know each other. And she just had we impacted each other. We watched 9/11 happen on
Oh,
TV.
shit.
Like that's like you just don't forget,
Trauma
right?
bonded.
Yeah.
Mm,
And it was just like you just don't forget that. And it's just something that will always like connect us. And so it's been fun to relive a lot of these memories and stuff like that. So yeah, like that's one of the things that we do is we do base things. It's not a shortcut into character building, but it sometimes it brings a little bit more
makes him feel
just
more real.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like all the Chunkla characters, they definitely are based on I wouldn't say based on real people, but other than our science teacher, but I definitely did incorporate certain things like Elote is named after my brother-in-law. Um, Fresa is named after one of his nieces who's in the WWF right now, and so it's just like I was just like looking around and like finding people that I know and taking things that I like and to make them feel a little bit more real and all
Yeah.
that. I do have these too if you want to take a look.
Yeah,
I'm working on
we got
tarot cards.
3 minutes before I gotta wrap up the show. I love you, Jesse, because you like are you always half asleep in the beginning of the show, but by the end of the show, you're fully awake. And I'm like, oh, we have so much more to talk about what we haven't talked about yet. And the show's we're at an hour 49.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually tried to go book another show, but you're not you I'm trying to book one for August or September, but you don't have your thingy up.
oh, I'm booked into like October. So it's up, but people have pushed.
Oh, all the way up to October. Okay, that's why there was no time slots. Yeah, maybe I'll do October. I'll have to look at that. But I'm making these tarot cards right now
These are cool.
with an amazing artist, Mexico Y, I believe that's her name on
Yeah.
Instagram. Let me see here real quick. Mex Mexica Y. So that's MEXICAWAII _art. She's amazing. So Gonna try and get these done by South Texas Comic Con. Little tarot cards for people. They're just so cute.
They
So
are.
so they all have a theme. Chancla is hope, life and death, right? She brings hope to
Yeah.
people, but she also means death to others. Cuacho's all wrapped up in nature and all that. Vela obviously is water and fire kind of thing.
Cool.
Fresa, she loves her bullets. These are her babies.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one that
Paloma,
made me giggle. What's
Paloma is the
oh,
angel, like
there you go.
because she comes in with the helicopter and
Right.
rescues people, so they see her as an angel. And he's the
Yeah.
hacker, kind of thing. So
Yeah. I like
these
it.
will be
It's a
fun.
circus.
Yeah. All
Pop
right.
says he can get you on Monday Madness anytime you want, Jesse, and that's probably more your time because they're like 4:00, 3:00, 4:00, right? 4:00 our time, Central
Yeah.
Time. And so
Yeah. We can talk about that now that I'm probably after South Texas Comic Con. I'm slammed.
yeah.
Uh, but shit, I need to have a Calendly just to get my time too for some of these things. Um, but yeah, if you're interested, it's thechancla.com. Just go in there, put your email. I have not sent out the email saying, "Hey, everyone, claim your thing." I haven't done that yet. Other than that, if you're in Texas, you can find us at all these conventions. Then my next one is gonna be South Texas Comic Con. Then right after South Texas Comic Con, we're doing Comic Palooza, and then I got to check my calendar. I'm really on conventions. I can only see a couple bit out, but I do know I will be at well, I applied for Etchy Fiesta. I don't know if they're going to accept me yet.
Mm,
We'll also be at Casa, and then we'll be at Big Texas, and then we will be at the book show. I keep forgetting what it's called. It in San Antonio the same weekend as Casa, and then I signed up for a book show. I signed up for a book show in Houston as
okay.
well to try book shows out, just to see what a book show would how that would
Yeah,
work.
that's interesting.
hmm the way I figure is that people who collect books, they like to have physical things on their shelves, and that probably will work, right? And especially like with Teen Strike, they're thick books, so
Yeah.
by that point in time, we should be done. I think with 7 and 8, so I'm really hoping to get that.
If you type
Um,
in thechancla.com, don't look up the Chancla. The Chancla is a restaurant. Yes, I got the same thing. But if you
yeah,
type
if you
in the
can you
Chancla, no space.
yeah, can you put the link in there? I can't type. Well, I guess I could join the chat. I always have problems joining
No, I
on
got you because
StreamYard.
we gotta go anyway. So
Yeah. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm bad at that, so it's just like whatever.
Jesse, you make me laugh. He's like, I don't know, whatever. You can find me. Just look me up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you go to thechunklight.com, my
Yeah,
social
you
links
can
are in the
find
upper left. If you want, I don't. If you want, I'm not gonna tell you to do it. You live your own life. I'm not your mom. But going back to that, yes, limited run. If I have to do a second print run, great, I'll do a second print run. But I am in talks with publishers. We are also sometime this year. It got moved to this year, but I'm collaborating with a Mexican director. We're going to be shooting a live
Oh,
action pitch trailer for this. Uh,
cool.
I pitched it to the Mexican Consulate of Art, and they put me in contact with all of this stuff. And he has to finish shooting his movie, which he should be done in the next week or two. He was supposed to shoot it last year, but it got pushed back, so that pushed my project back as well. But we'll be shooting that
Yeah,
for hopefully a streaming service since they're investing heavily in South America, Central and
cool.
South America, and we think we have something here. So assuming this live action trailer goes well, you guys might see this somewhere, on
If
something
you
or
want help
whatever.
with knife fighting and stunts, you just let me know, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out through all my network when that happens, like to definitely pull together people who have the ability to do
Yeah.
things.
The
So
ability to do things. This is what we
yeah.
do.
Wait, you can't find what?
What? Ah, it's
Fish says
this,
I can't find it.
this, 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 chocolate.com. This one.
But either way, trying to make something that all of us Latinos can be proud of and excited for, and then the trickier thing is to get non-Latinos also, like, they're be like, oh wow, looks awesome, right? Like if you can do that, like Robert Rodriguez can do it, right? As long as you
Right.
make it authentic. If you're authentic about the experience, it's people will love it, right? Like that's the thing.
100%.
um yeah, that's all I really got, I guess.
That's all we could ask for, man. This was a great show. I always love having you on the show. We have a great conversation. We have a good time. You always do amazing work. Thank you again for coming on the show. And then go find a spot in October or November or January or whatever. Just come back on the show.
Will do. I'm
And
just gonna book everything every week, every
well,
Thursday,
maybe don't do that.
every Wednesday, what is today?
Come on
Tuesday,
every
every Tuesday.
Tuesday.
One of those
No,
days.
no, we can't do that.
I'm just
I
gonna go
love
in there
you,
and
but don't
just
do that.
yeah, but you can't stop me. I'm gonna do it.
I could cancel them. I sure can. But anyway, thank you for watching. Next week we have Ben Lacey on the show, so tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your dose of coffee and comics here on the Tuesday Morning Brew. Be excellent to each other. Kiss your babies. We'll see you here next week. Bye.
Ozzy, what are you doing? Come and have a look at this lovely book that was sent over.
You're wrapping in the perpendicular.
Oh, go on and spit the back out your mouth. No one can understand you like that.
Very nice. Say how 5 dentists and all.
Oh, well, that's not much better. Ozzy, why don't you sing to me? I can always understand you when you sing to me.
Oh, fucking my brains. What is this my publisher sent me? Inked in black with art so sweet.
So what do you think? Do you like it?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. I'm dead again. I'm up. I can run faster than a bitch around the house.